Good morning. Sorry, it's nearly 5:30 a.m. here and I am just a little bit sleepy, but I have some work that I need to get done before my day starts. So I thought I would do a live one this morning. If anybody is crazy like me and awake at 5:25, then that's great. Thanks for joining me live. If not, then I'm really glad to have you watching a little bit later on in the day. So today is day 8 of our Flylady routines, our baby steps, and I feel like we're doing really well. I hope that these videos have helped you so far, but also that you're starting to feel like you're just taking back a little bit of control, one step at a time. And the point of these steps is that we learn them and we get them working so that in 10 years time they're still working. So if you need to take more time over one step, that's fine. These videos aren't going anywhere. You can work on one step until you're comfortable with it. What's not good to do, and the reason that I'm not putting 31 baby steps up in one go, is to rush on ahead, because if you rush on ahead, you miss steps, think, oh, I've got this, I don't need this, then actually it becomes harder to do. So, as always, if you're not dressed to the shoes, and hey, if I can be dressed to the shoes at 5:25 in the morning, you guys can be dressed to the shoes a little bit later. If you're not dressed to the shoes, just pop yourself on pause and go out and get dressed to the shoes and then come back. Obviously, don't go out. It's very early in the morning. Okay, so far, quick sanity check with what we've done so far. We are getting up and dressed to the shoes, doing our hair and face. Now, I don't wear makeup every day because I have sensitive skin. I try for about 5 days out of 7, and today is a non-makeup day for me. But my hair is done and I am dressed all the way down to a pair of sneakers right now. Look at your post-it notes that you've got around your house. I'll talk a little bit more about those in a minute. Read your emails from Flylady, and remember there's lots of ways that you can do that. You can go to the website and they're right there for you to see. You can obviously get them the traditional way of email, or you can get them through the Flylady Plus app if you have an Apple device. They're on there and they're great for kind of, you can just go in every day, they update with the new ones as well. So you've got lots of choices there. Deal with the negative voices. Like I said in the first place when we started talking about those back a couple of days ago, that takes practice. That is not as easy as it sounds. So please don't let a negative voice say, oh, you should have got this by now, and beat up on yourself for not doing it. It's just something you need to practice a little bit of every day. Okay, and then we added in yesterday a 2-minute hotspot. Okay, so today we are going to add in another 2-minute hotspot and something else. In the evening, our before bed routine is keeping our sink shiny, laying out our clothes, and then we're going to add in clearing a hotspot for another 2 minutes. Okay, so we're going to do something really exciting today. We're going to start a control journal. So a control journal is just basically a ring binder, a folder if you're in England, that you keep everything in together so that you know where it is. You can refer back to it and use it as a working document, so it will change over time. It doesn't have to be perfect. Don't get caught up in creating a masterpiece and then not using it. I know some people like to use bullet journals for that, so if you're a bullet journaler, this may be a good thing to look at for you. But again, don't get caught up in the perfectionist, because it's a changing object. Right, so this is mine. This is an old fold. Well, actually, this is not mine. I use my phone now, but this is mine that I've made for this purpose today. Okay, it's an old folder. I grabbed it out of the place where we keep spare ring binders. It's nothing special. I mean, it's pretty, but it's only pretty because it's the one that was there. If there had been sort of a bright yellow one that was a bit tatty on the edges, I would have grabbed that. But this was we don't tend to have that many of these, and this was the spare one. So then inside, I've just put some blank paper. Oh, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this. I've just put some blank paper, and then I've just written morning routine and the things that I do. and evening routine. As you can see, it's not a thing of beauty. That's just my scruffy old handwriting, written that down. Now, at this point, I will say there's the Flylady Plus app, and it's absolutely fantastic. If you want to use your phone or your tablet, that's great too. You can do that. If the Flylady Plus app's not available on your platform, you can use notes, you can use reminders, whatever works for you. But I find, because I've always got my phone with me, that it's a lot easier to use than a paper copy. But paper is kind of good when you're starting off. There's something about paper, especially for people kind of my age. I think if you're over 40, you grew up with paper and you love it. So I love my Kindle, but I also like paper books because they smell good. I'm a book geek. I will go and sit in Waterstones for half an hour just to take in the smell and all the pretty books. But there we go. Anyhow, that's neither here nor there. So the other thing that I would do maybe that will help you is, I said I was going to talk about Post-it notes. So you've got Post-it notes hopefully around your house with different things on. Or something to do at this point is to do another Post-it note. I don't know where my camera is. That's good, isn't it? That just says morning routine, and it's got all of your things on it. And again, evening routine, and it's got all of your things on it. And you could write those out a few times and stick them maybe with the other things that you do. So I can't stress enough how much this folder is a working document. You don't want to get caught up in the perfectionism of it. In the past, I have spent hours making beautiful control journals that are all decorated and look absolutely stunning, and they didn't do anything more for me than the piece of paper like that. In fact, I realized before I moved over to my phone that I prefer it that way, because I can add notes to the bottom and I don't feel like I'm ruining something that I've done that's absolutely kind of a work of art. So, and that's why I love my app as well, because I can make changes to it if something sort of tweaks. If we have just a slightly different thing happen and my routine needs to change because of that new thing. So that's it for today. That's day 8. Have a fabulous day. I am now going to get on with the assignment that I need to write that needs to be in tomorrow. That's a whole nother story about procrastination that you don't need to know about today. And I will be back tomorrow with day 9. Have a fantastic day and happy flying.